So this is my theory on Korra. The creators, it's known, the creators and the studio had different diverging paths, right? The studio wanted to go one way. The creators, Brian Konietzko and his co-creator wanted to go somewhere else, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. They want to go different ways. That came out later, and that's like they just hated making that show. I feel like because they couldn't talk about certain things. Viacom, Nickelodeon was basically saying, "Oh, we don't want you to go too ham about this stuff and this stuff." Half of the stuff was on the internet. Like half of the stuff was on the internet, on the web. All the stuff was on the web. Then they went on the web. Then went took it off back onto the network. It was just a straight mess, right? So in that mess, they probably were like, "We're so tired of these um studio messing with us." They complained about it themselves, professionally stated like we didn't have the creative freedom to do this. I'm just sitting there like, okay, cool. So that's why people see that in that character of Korra, like she's not really, she kind of back goes backwards in character development. She doesn't really, she loses a bunch of fights. To me, I feel like if they were just allowed to cook in Legend of Korra, just allowed to cook a little bit more, and gave in the creative freedom, but just reining it back in a little bit, just reining it back in, it would have been a different story, right? Because I watched Legend of Korra twice, 3 times already, right? And it's just like I see what they're trying to do, but it was just like I could sense that there was some interference, there was some pushback. Um, what you that's what I think. That's why you see it on the show. You kind of see it like it's being pushed back. The characters aren't really written well. Like I remember when it's like so I had to look it up on YouTube. Somebody said they put Legend of Korra on their Nickelodeon website. I'm like, okay, cool. They put the episodes on the internet, and I'm like, okay, cool. Why? Because they wanted it to be darker. So it was because I think it was the third season they put it on the internet. They put it on the web, and then they were like, okay, there's some we're gaining some views and some um we getting some attention from this, right? Then they moved it to TV, back onto the TV, and that was like kind of unnecessary to me because it's like, well, you can make it dark and for the adult audience that there already is, and then people can just. I think Legend of Korra was okay. I just think it's just the acting of moving it from one medium to the next medium, like keeping it all like just keeping it in one place, right? And I feel like, to be honest with you, if they just kept it on the web, all of it on the web, that would have been so much easier for people, and it would get a much bigger audience. The cult fan base of Avatar, The Last Airbender, ATL, will go on the internet to watch it. It could be darker. They could have done the gay scene properly. They could have shown the gay scene, right? They could have gone to show the gay scene, the kissing scene. Excuse me, the gay scene. I apologize. The kissing scene, right? They could have showed the kissing scene. They could have gone more explicit if they wanted to. People could have died. People, like main characters could have died. They could have like made things more intense, right? But I just felt like moving it back and forth. And the later part of season 3, they moved it back to TV. I'm like, dude, why are we jumping from one place to one place? It should be just one place we watch it. But yeah, that's why I think like you see the choppiness of there, and you're just like, well, and also I think it's like character development for her, and then the new show, this is what gets me upset. She destroys the planet. Everyone's gonna hate Korra after that. Everyone's gonna say Korra's a fraud. So why create a character? You're basically making this character the most hated thing on besides mayonnaise. I'm saying mayonnaise actually is a good condiment. No, it's you're making her a more hated character than she already is, right? Because let's keep it honest. No one likes people don't like Korra. People don't like Korra. I think she has good works like you see her in comic books. You know, I don't think people need to understand like why are we keen on the Avatar when the president hasn't done anything. The president's just you don't see the president do anything, but it's not called Avatar, the president. You know what I'm saying? It's called Legend of the President. It's called Legend of Korra. But you could call the president. He makes your decision of your country, of your state, of the republic, the city of republic, whatever it's called. But you don't go to him. He has the same poll list as the character at the end of the series. She has the same polling numbers as him. So it's like, okay, why are we relying on Avatar when you all have said? I said this before. I've gone into detail about this before, but I'm gonna finish this with this. Finish this with this. You guys make the Avatar obsolete. You make the Avatar obsolete, but then you rely on the Avatar. So which one is it? Do you want to rely on the Avatar, or do you just want to be not doing that? Right? You just don't want to be. Like, you just want to be, not relying on the Avatar, but not at the same time not be relying. I think the creator should have chose one way or another. Should the people be relying on the Avatar, or should the people be like self-reliance, have some form of self-reliance? Because to me, it's just like, do they want to be self-reliant, or do they want to be relying on an Avatar? Because she has to fix everything. That doesn't really make sense. It's either or. You can't be relying on somebody then be self-reliant. You could be self-reliant and rely on somebody, but you can't just be like crap on that person if you're relying on them to show up every day, to show up to whatever. Because that's not how life works. You crap on somebody so much, they're gonna break. You know, I think the Avatar world now does not need an Avatar. And Korra got so much hate. She got so much hate. So much hate. Everyone's doing their own thing. Her team Avatar is not connected. Her team Avatar is not connected. They're not really working together or cohesive as the previous team. They weren't even working together. They had their own lives. The only team Avatar that's left is Asami, and Korra is dating Asami. That's the only reason why. They're dating, so they're going to have to work together. So I'm saying, like, so she doesn't have a good cohesive team or cohesive support group. Her parents are the ones that are only supporting her, which is weird because it's like, how old is Korra? She's almost like 23, 25. She's in her 20s. She should have her own friend group to rely on, to go to and say, hey, I feel this way. Am I wrong? And then the dating in Korra was so weird. She dated a Mako for a little bit. Bolin had feelings for Korra. I'm like, but Bolin, what'd he do? You know, Mako was a cop. Okay, he had his own life. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, these people aren't really friends. They're more like coworkers. I heard that from Danny Manda. Like, these are more like coworkers, not friends. That's what he said. I'm sitting there like, yeah, that makes sense because these people don't seem like they're very close knit. They can go to each other for feeling inefficient about something or feeling what's the word? Not confident about something, right? They don't feel confident about something, or they don't feel confident about something. They just feel incompetent. They feel incompetent about something. You know, Shaka went to to his sister and said, "You guys are the best spenders ever, the best in your fields. I have nothing." Then he went to go find and be a swordsman, right? He went to go find a skill that he was good at. And I just think I'm gonna go with myself. I just think it's like she had no cohesive friends. No one saying, "Hey, bro, you doing this wrong," or "Bro, you like building her up," or communicating her, say, "Hey, like, feed her, like not feed her ego, but I just give her an ego boost." Like talk her up a bit. No one was doing that. Everyone was like separated doing everything else. She didn't communicate to her friends that she communicated to Asami. Granted, Asami was like, she kind of started having feelings for Asami, but it's just like, it felt like they weren't a cohesive group. Team Avatar and Legend of Korra wasn't a cohesive group. So, and then they weren't really building each other up, communicating or hanging out with each other. They hang out once in season what? 4? In season 4, they hanged out once? They never hanged out outside of doing like Avatar duties, like doing like Avatar stuff. They never hanged out. You can't tell me Team Avatar and Legend of Korra is more cohesive than the Aang's group. team Avatar, Aang's team Avatar, right? They were cohesive. They spent months together. They lived together. They ate together. They flirted and probably had relations with one another. But that's besides the point. You won't have a cohesive group, and not even to from the broadcasting to the writing to the cohesive from the team Avatar standpoint. She wasn't given a good support system, or she wasn't given time to actually heal. And that's it. Like, comment, follow. Deuces.